annoyingly discouraged and annoyed when people pull up to my channel and disrespect me by saying, why are your views so low but your subscriber count so high? I'm like, listen, motherfucker.
How you doing, everyone? Welcome. You guys are being weird.
Mika, do you think it's possible to gain a good following by starting on Twitch? I feel like most people migrate their YouTube audience over. I don't do YouTube anymore, so I'm currently struggling with building a Twitch audience. Any advice? I think it's possible, Mika. And I think it's one of those things where I hate when people say, hey, how to build an audience on one platform. Take your audience from the previous platform. It's like, what if I don't have an audience there? I see a lot of people doing that, and I don't like that advice. I would say it would be more of like, you know, if you start streaming on Twitch consistently and your numbers aren't really going where you want them to go, I guess it's more about, in my opinion, you got to be social and you got to reach out to people that you got, you know, you got to try to get people to want to come watch. Like here's to me a good, like, depending on how cool you are and how often you're in streams and how personable you are, like me personally, I would shout out Mika because I've known Mika since I low-key started streaming on Twitch. So I think it's more about being a part of like a cool community and then like letting the people in that community know that other people are trying to do stuff. Cause like, you know, if you're streaming, like I would host you. Why not? Like, you know, I've met you in person. You came to one of my comedy shows. So it's one of those things where I would start in that sense, in the sense of trying to get a following, but also you gotta, you know, when you start at day one and you got 0 on whatever platforms, the people that you got to reach out to are your friends and family. Honestly, that's where it always comes down to me. I know for when I first started on YouTube, I would create Facebook groups with people who did not want to be a part of them, and I would send them all a message saying, hey, don't type in the group. Here is a don't type in the group. Here's a video. Check it out. Leave a comment on the video. Thank you for watching. And, you know, I started sending that over to like over 40 people, or 40 to 50 people per video. Like I started doing it that way. And then it's also just kind of like being social on the internet and going out of your way. Like, you know who talks about this all the time? Gary Vee. Gary Vee talks about it. He's not wrong. His way of explaining things is to me a little weird, but he is not wrong in the sense that if you're looking for an opportunity, there's people out there who are willing to give them if you put yourself out there. So let's say you want, it's not that they're going to just give you a following or give you a platform, but you got to earn it. So, hey, you want a job as a filmmaker and you want to start filming, you know, videos for people, or you want to edit for people, you got to hit up these people. Go on Twitter, go on Instagram, go on Twitch, go into a YouTube page, leave a comment. And if you see somebody, you know, if you catch somebody on like a day where they're like, you know, I got a lot of work on my plate and blah, 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 send them an email and be like, hey, I heard you're looking for some help. What can I do? You know, it all starts with that. And that's how I started. Like, I asked people, hey, do you need help filming videos? Do you need help shooting skits? Do you need an editor? Do you need this? And I worked with a lot of people. I worked with like Tim De La Ghetto, Daystorm. Me and Dashy got together and started working. I worked with Shane Dawson back in the day. Worked with Totally Sketch, cool guy with glasses, Rated RR, Jack's Films. I don't know. It's one of those things where like I ended up offering my services in the sense of like, hey, if you need help, I got you. And then it just becoming friends. You know, being reclusive on the internet in this day and age. Unfortunately, it's just not possible. It's like you can't just like, I mean, you can blow up out of nowhere. Trust me. I'm not one to say that I've done it, but I've seen it. There's a guy who just passed 1 million subscribers in like 1 week because he started making how-to videos, and his name is like Dad, How Do I? And I was like, what? But hey, happy for him. So it's not, you know, the success can come, but no, it's not guaranteed to anyone. But yeah. So personally, that's how I see content creation, building an audience, starting from zero to wherever. That's part of it. And this is perfect for a video, low key. Like, I might have to clip this and upload it. You know, Bianca6, you love this shirt. Thank you. Shout out to Nintendo. They provided this. They gave me this shirt when they sent me this bag, and they sent me some goodies for Animal Crossing. And also, it's just one of those things where you know, you got to put yourself out there. You know, I mean, it's easy for me to explain it because I've been doing it for so long. But I mean, if I were to start today, I couldn't give you a concrete plan. It's just, you know what it is though? It's also one of those things where you got to go and you got to put yourself out there on platforms that you might not care to do. TikTok is a great example. I mentioned this too many times. Yo, you can have, that's the only platform, in my opinion, that you can come up out of nowhere in this day and age. It's like, I'm not like, that's the only platform I know where if you follow their curation, you follow their trends, you make a video a day that is related to the stuff that's on their goofy trending page. If you make something related to these hashtags once a day, there's no way, in my opinion, that you don't get numbers. And then you can take that and then transition into a different place. Low key, I'm slacking on Instagram. On TikTok. I was really taking it serious for a while, then I kind of got bored. And like now I'm just kind of like, I'll jump on this whenever I want to. But in doing that, in the last like 3 months, I probably could have been up like 60,000 followers if I was really going hard. But it's like, I don't know. At the end of the day, for me personally, followers don't mean much anymore. Like, I've started 10 years ago. I've got a lot of followers. I got a lot of followers. Like, I gotta really take in the fact that I got I got 49,000 people here. That's a lot of people. If this was just my only platform, that's still a lot of people. And that's 49K here. An average of 200 to 300 people who hang out with me every other time I stream. I got 480,000 plus on YouTube on only one channel. I got 130,000 on another channel, 39,000 on the next channel. I got 300,000 plus on Facebook. I got 188,000 on Instagram. I got 80 something thousand on Twitter. There's a point where you just sit back and you're like, their numbers, they're going to keep growing, but they don't make you who you are. You got to just keep doing you, making the content you like, creating the stuff you love, and the people will follow. But yeah, like if I were to make a video on, which I should make it like, how do you get your first 1,000, I don't know, followers on Twitch or your first 1,000 subscribers on YouTube? I would just say it starts with community, and it starts with the people you know, and then trickling off into trying to get known by other people and all that jazz. Oh yeah, I used to be on Vine. I had 280,000 on there. I don't do that anymore. 26,000 on, or 25,000 on TikTok. You know, but they're just numbers, you know. Also, at the end of the day, the only issue with having these numbers is if all you did was come up on the internet and you didn't really build any skill sets outside of being an internet person, social media influencer, you really don't have a lot to take with you outside into the real world. And that's my issue with content creators. Like, I get it. If you blow up and you have X amount of followers, you're in the millions of 10 millions, and you're making millions of dollars, and you know that this is not going to last forever, but you're going as hard as you can right now so you can make as much money as possible so you're good for the rest of your life, cool. Because at the end of the day, relevance dies out, but having a skill doesn't. You know what I mean? Relevance goes away to the greats, to some of the best people. Like, you know, I mean, you could literally say, what's so-and-so doing right now? And if you haven't heard of them trending on Twitter for a good or a bad reason, you're just kind of like, oh, they must be irrelevant, out of the loop. They're not, obviously. But that's the only issue I have with the social media era of people. People live and die by the edit button. They live and die by the record button, or the follow button, or the subscribe button, or the going live button. And then whenever they turn off their platforms, what do they got? A bunch of cute pictures on the beach. Like, I don't know. It's the truth. I made a video about that on TikTok. I said, hey, you don't want to be TikTok famous, bro. You want to be like, I mean, I don't know. Like, to me, fame doesn't matter. But if you want to be anything, you want to be someone who can take what you've built on a platform and then transition it into not necessarily traditional media, but just into some sort of skill. Like, no disrespect to anyone who does what I'm doing, like Twitch streaming, content on the internet. In my opinion, it's not necessarily a skill, though. The skill of all of this is that all of the people who are really good, who are really big on these platforms, are skilled at building an audience and becoming popular. It's not necessarily something that you can teach, and it's not something you can really take with you like into your later years. Like, if I'm 60 years old, or if I'm like if I was like a popular YouTuber at 17, between the age of like 17 and 37, I would have hoped that I had like taken some acting classes, learned how to audition, take some singing lessons. If you have like the creative bug to be like an artist of some sort, you gotta take the time to actually hone in on the craft. This isn't necessarily honing in on any type of craft. We're all just kind of on the internet enjoying each other. You know what I'm saying? That's just not it. To me, that's not a skill set. Like me, this is just me as a person. Like, I'm not showcasing a skill. I'm just showcasing y'all that I'm I'm just funny. I'm just fun dude to hang out with. Like, I'm not acting. I mean, I'm teaching you things right now, but I'm not acting. I don't know. It's like one of those things where I'm not necessarily doing anything other than just being myself. And yourself is a great thing. I obviously always be yourself, but it's like you want to elevate your game. That's what I would say. All right, cool. And end recording. That's tomorrow's content. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't record, but I'll try to clip that, or I'll try to make it into a highlight. But yeah, being popular at a young age is bad to me. It's bad for a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of like friends who were child stars who, like, you know, they personally don't wish they would have ever done it. You know, I think it's also one of those things where I'm not trying to disregard what we're doing here, though, because I don't want to be rude to people who are really trying to grind and become Twitch streamers or YouTubers or Instagram influencers or TikTokers. It's like, if anything, just be really grateful that you are able to have this type of outlet / avenue to create this type of content in this day and age. Because I remember being around when, I mean, I grew up in my 20s in the YouTube era, but I know, like, prior to that, there was no such thing as like when I was in my teens, I couldn't just sit back and be like, yo, dude, hey man, yo, you want to be in a YouTube video this weekend? Yo, it's gonna get hella views, dog. Yo, we can split the revenue. Like, no, it wasn't real. You know what I'm saying? It didn't exist yet. So for kids to grow up in this age where they just have this avenue of like, hey, we can, let's get on the TikToks. Let's do a little dance. And let's get this bread. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's not what I remember. So to try to take that type of mentality into the future, I think is really difficult to like really create something out of it. Because at the end of the day, you know, all those kids on TikTok, no disrespect to them, they don't have skills. Except for the ones who are actually really skillful, but they don't get on the front page because they'd rather put the people who are like pretty. I don't know. Or the ones who are just kind of, you know, the ones that people click on. But like, if I'm really thinking about TikTok, like, it's not even about it not being practical. It's about the fact that people are taking it for granted. Like, yo, if you gonna blow up on a platform, figure something out. Start a business. Create merchandise. I don't know. If you're an artist, sell your art through the thing. one of our friends, me and Pilar, one of Pilar's close friends, she is a nail tech, right? She does nails. She does really good nails for women and men too. And she literally blew up on TikTok based off of her creative, the art she would do on her nails. She went from like 5,000 followers to like 80,000 to like now 300,000. But she has a business model. She's a nail tech. What do they call nail techs? A nail artist? I don't know what you call it. But she has her nails that she can turn into her nail business, which she can actually then take TikTok and benefit from by bringing all those new audience members and hopefully consumers to her business. It's one of those things where it's like take the eggs in your basket and start putting them in other baskets. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Like a tattoo artist who blows up on TikTok. It's like, at the end of the day, blowing up on TikTok or becoming TikTok famous for doing a dance or a trend is as fleeting as the news on Twitter. It's like, oh, okay, in today, gone tomorrow. Like, you're not really taking it and turning it into anything. You're just one funny video. You're only as good as your last funny TikTok or your last funny YouTube skit or your last entertaining Instagram post or whatever. Like, I would hope that people are trying to build up skill sets as they grow on these platforms and not just taking it for granted. Like me, yeah, I do YouTube, I do Twitch, but I also act, bro. Like, I be in these streets. Like, I've been on television shows, I've been on animated series. I am using the platforms that I have and the creativity I have to make funny things, and then I turn them into ideas. Like, I write down pitches and television treatments, and I'm like, yo, this idea that I wrote, that I had on a live stream or during a stand-up comedy show where I just started rambling about this thing, or if I was talking about a thing, that can then be turned into a television treatment. I pitch that to a studio, and then a studio buys my idea, and I'm caking for the next 20 years. You know what I mean? You gotta really open up your ideas, and your like, everything should have a reason to it. You shouldn't just be doing stuff just to do it for no reason. You're just kind of like, I'm just kind of enjoying being a goofball on the internet. Yeah, sure, but like, that shit ain't gonna last forever. Like, and the thing is, the smart people know it's not gonna last forever. The smart people are well aware. Yo, what's going on, Lizard Reviews? What's going on, triple or quadruple or septuple XC? It's marketing. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing. At the end of the day, a lot of people who make content on the internet don't realize, like, yo, we are this right here, this shit right here I'm doing. I'm a brand now. I'm my own brand. And I need to realize, and it's one of those things where, or you're your own marketing, your own ad agency, your own business model, and there's going to be ups and downs. I think that's a funny thing, because, like, you know, I'm older. I understand when, like, things aren't working out in certain places. Like, you know, if my YouTube views aren't going off the charts, or if I'm not getting, or if people are unsubscribing or unfollowing me on certain platforms, I'm sitting back and I'm like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Some people go crazy, like, why? Ah! Look at this, pull this shit off. Ah! And you don't realize that, yo, you're a brand, dude. You're your own brand. You're your own agent. You're your own rep. And people, and you know, you're like your own TV series. Yo, people don't watch the same TV series forever. They enjoy it and then they move on. Same with your content. Some of y'all who are here today might not be here in a year. I'll still be around because I'm gonna be me, but you know, some of y'all just might be like, oh yeah, I remember when I used to watch JD. He was cool. I don't know. I guess I just kind of stopped watching. I don't know. You might not even have a reason. It's not like you went out of your way and was like, I'm done with him. But I'm the same way. That's another thing that people should really think about when it comes to what you're taking in content wise. Because I realized it recently that Lone Wolf, I'll be gone. It's one of those things where, you know what a lot of content creators don't do? They don't look at their own content from the perspective of a viewer. And I recently just realized this in the last like year or so, 2 years, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess like the stuff I'm putting out isn't amazing. Like, you know, it's stuff that kind of just, you know, it's like short form content. It's just like, it's like for your day in, day out, like dose of JD. If you're into me enough, you might tune in. If you're like, I'm kind of over it, you might tune out. I'm the same way. I used to watch a whole bunch of people online that I don't watch anymore, or even TV shows or celebrities. It's one of those things where it's like it's kind of like falling in and out of trends. Like you're just kind of like, oh, I'm an adult. Not just being an adult, but it's like I'm a human being, and it's like something that I enjoyed a year ago might not be as entertaining or interesting to me anymore. You don't really know why, but people should really take their content and put it in that perspective. Like, yo, you cannot do the same thing forever and expect people to just be like, I'm into that forever. You'll have a select few of people who are. You will. But your numbers will drop off because you refuse to pivot, you know? And that's what a lot of people talk about when they give those advice videos on like YouTube, like, what's going on? Why is your channel dying? Why is this happening? Oh no. And I want to make a video about that too, because I have my own reasons, you know? But it's just the truth. It's just that, you know, people's interests, they, you know, peaks and valleys, they come up, they go down, they go left, they go right. Ayana saying, I feel inspired listening to you. I'm an artist, yet I took everything for granted. Everything came down real hard, but I'm a waitress and I want to go back and but it makes me real sad to go back. I do have a YouTube channel as well too. That's my story. I think I'm saying your name. Ayana, keep it going. The one thing though, as a creator, is what I want to recommend to y'all is, no matter how hard it gets or how discouraging it is, the one thing that I learned throughout all of it is, even though it's like some days you're just like, I can't do this anymore, you should still keep going. Even if you pull back the amount of stuff that you're creating and the amount of things you're putting out there, quitting entirely, in my opinion, doesn't benefit you at all. If you've built anything, you might as well keep going. If it doesn't get in the way of your day-to-day life, if it's not a hindrance on you or your family, I feel like you should just don't stop. You know, even if you take a break. Listen, I ain't uploaded a video on my vlog channel in 2 years, but I have vlog content I still want to upload. I just need to find, when the time is right for me, I will do it. And people will come check it out. It might not be as many people as before. It might take me a while to regrow that audience and that, you know, that, whatever you call it, that, is it dedication? That connection with those people. But when I'm ready to come back, I will. But it's like, there's no reason to quit it all entirely unless you genuinely are just like, I think I'm done. I don't think you should ever put like a deadline on your success. I would love for people to understand that does not exist. It just doesn't. I got friends who come to LA who talk about like, yeah, man, you know, I'm gonna give this a try for like 6 months. 6 months? Brr? 6 months? Homie, I just started getting work in the last 2 years. I've been at it for like 12. It takes time. No, like there's a very select, very small group of people who just pop off immediately. And like, you can ride the wave with them and maybe they're your homies and they can help you out, but that's just not the norm. You can't put yourself on a timetable of success. You know, people do that. A lot of people do the whole, I'm gonna be married at 25 and I'll have kids at 30 and my kids will be, you know, this and that, and I'll have, you know, everything I need by the time. That's not real life. When you get not even to my age, when you get to 30, it's not even about that. When you sit down and have a reality check with yourself that some of this shit may or may not happen, that's when you start to understand it, and that's when you can like let your demons go that are holding you back from enjoying your life or fulfilling the things in your life that you want to do. Like I trust me, I had those mindsets. I thought I was gonna be on and popping in my 20s. I'd be in like multiple movies and this and that. I'm gonna be the next whoever, but that's just not how it is. It's just not the truth. And if you really are real with yourself, you'll go back and realize why not why you aren't where you are, but you'll realize like, hey, I'm glad I didn't get that success that early because I wasn't ready for that. That's a real thing. I remember an acting coach told me back in the day, she didn't tell me this, she told this to the whole class. It was an acting class I was in. She says, some of y'all in here aren't even ready for success. If they said if a studio came in here right now and signed you to a multi-million-dollar deal, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. You would be sitting there like you're not ready for the moment. You're not ready to step up to the plate and take that responsibility and really understand what it means to like be the one, be that girl or guy, and hold it down. You know what I'm saying? Like if someone like, you know, it's one of those things where a lot of people think they're ready, but they're not. And your time will come. Hopefully, you know, as long as you just keep going. You just can't quit. You know, you got to keep going, keep pursuing your dreams. Don't give up and just do the best that you can do, you know? Like I was going to quit YouTube. Did I tell you about that? I swear I talked about this. I for sure was going to quit YouTube when in 2014 or 2015. I was over it. I was like, bro, I'm trying so hard. I make good stuff and nobody watches and I can't catch a break. And my wife told me, she was like, don't quit. I was telling her, I was like, I'm gonna go find a 9-to-5 and just, you know, just get back to living like, you know, like I'm cool off these dreams. Like, I mean, I told her I would still pursue acting, but I was just like, this internet shit is annoying. I can't stand it. It's so frustrating. Like, and it is frustrating. I will give you that. Listen, look, real talk. I turned them fucking numbers off my damn YouTube channels because I didn't want to see them anymore. I get annoyingly discouraged and annoyed when people pull up to my channel and disrespect me by saying, why are your views so low but your subscriber count so high? I'm like, listen, motherfucker. I'll be like, where your channel at to begin with? Oh, punk ass motherfucker. Like, talking mad shit. Talking all this shit about me. You know, I turned them off because honestly, it gave me anxiety. I was like, yo, I don't like pulling up to my channel and seeing my views being low and my subscriber number being high because I worked really hard to get that high, but then a majority of those people don't want to watch anymore. I can't help that, but at the same time, I don't need you to fucking put your foot on my neck and talk shit. I don't need that. So I'd rather avoid it entirely. Like, so, you know, it's one of them things that you got to do that for yourself. I hate to say that I did that because I genuinely was letting it get to me. But it's funny, like ever since I moved those away, my subscribers have been going up. And like people have been subscribing more for the content and less for like, you know, like kind of like how people will hit follow because they see you have a verified badge. So, you know, it feels good for now. And like when I get to my next milestone, you know, maybe I'll put them back up there. I'll put them back up there and I'll be like, yo, I appreciate all y'all for subscribing and this and that. And now I'm deleting the number again. Because the only reason you keep those numbers up on your platforms is for advertisers. You don't keep them up for like people in the chat, people in the comments, people on your page. You do that just because from a business standpoint, people will check your channel, they'll see it, and they'll be like, "Oh, okay, yeah, this person has you got like your interns at a social media company who's like, hey boss, I found a guy. He's got good subs. Yeah, he's great subs. Oh, his content's cool. His views are a little low, but I think we should work with him. Let me see. It's atrocious, Jimmy. What is this? 6,000 views." 300,000 subs. Get this shit out of here. I don't think anybody's doing that at business companies, but that's the mindset that your brain takes when you start losing sight of, you know, like your worth. And that's the moral of the story, everybody. Know your worth. If you think that you're worthy of being, you know, a popular content creator, a person who deserves a chance, a person who deserves this and that, then keep going. Don't quit on yourself. Don't give up, and hustle hard. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I will see you later.